First, I want to apologize that this is a bit late. I had intended to have this done before your kits arrived, but this is how they arrived, and better late than never, huh? This is how they arrived. Now, I wanted to go over and show you a few things because it may be confusing and a bit different than in the videos. Now, you do need to go in and watch those old videos that I did when I originally did the rug. It's important to do that. Everything is there, all the tips and tricks and everything, right from how to stitch it to put it together to finish it. I did a really good job. There are 4 videos I think, but they are long, but just do it at your own pace, do a little bit at a time. The first thing that you will need to do is blanket stitch the tongues, so you'll have lots of time to go in and look at the videos where you put it together. So you have lots of thread. This is very different. I've never done that before, so I'll have to explain that. But I may have said in the videos that I had, well, I think I do here mostly. I think they're all in one bundle is one color. So you may want to leave it like that, as I suggested in the video, and then just do one bundle and blanket stitch them and then put it back together, because you need these back into the same bundles when you lay out your rug. There are some, these are all plaid blankets, but there are some that look plain, like this one, and maybe, and here's one. And the reason for that, they look plain. The reason for that is because of the type of plaid the blanket is from. This is part of a plaid. This is the same blanket, I think, or maybe that's the same blanket. But there are certain parts in the blanket, if it's a large plaid, that when you cut them this small, it comes out with no plaid on it. So you do have some of those, and there are some of those in my original rug that the photo is there. If you look at it closely, you'll see. When you blanket stitch them, it really makes a big difference and tones them down. So the first step is to blanket stitch them, because you need them toned down in order to put them in a row, in your rows in the rug. So the first step is blanket stitching. And that is that part. Now, the center, which is the long piece, which is this, and then you have 3 on the side. Most of them are this center. So now if you have a plain one, put the plain one and put the nicest one in the front when you put it together. And of course these will be blanket stitched and everything. So put the nicest one in the front, like that. And these are larger than the tongues, so you won't get them mixed up. They're quite a bit larger. And the reason they need to be larger is to fill that gap. Okay, so that's that. Now, what happened was, I did all the blankets, and I didn't have enough to make a really nice kit, because I ran out of some of the nice plaids. And rather than doing a kit that wasn't really that nice, I decided that I would just divvy them up and give everybody extras. So my original marriage rug, which is exactly the same as this one except the center. This one has 92 tongues in it. It varies by how you lay it out, and the most important thing is don't overlap them too much. You will need to overlap them quite a bit more on the ends, and I show that in the videos, but usually the stitching is the width of the overlap. So if you need more, that's fine, put them in, but you don't want it too overlapped and too bulky. And you also want to remember to have them all going the same way. Like that. They're all going clockwise. Yeah, clockwise. So, the extras, once you're finished, you probably will have enough leftovers to do a little round mat, and then just put something in the center. Now, I wanted to tell you there's all sorts of different ones, different kinds. Now, this is not my favorite. I don't like this one. This one I don't like. But when you stitch it around, it totally changes it. So you really don't know what you like or what you don't like just by looking at it now. So what I suggest is you do these, blanket stitch these, and then you put your rug together. And what happens when you put it together, just put it together so that you don't have the same touching, and try and get a nice plaid, and then maybe one that's not a lot of plaid in it, and that sort of thing. It's really your own choice to do that, but once you have it all pinned in your rows, take it and put it on a chair or something about 10 feet away, and then look at it after it's blanket stitched around the center. And you won't have these in because these go in later, but you will have the blanket stitch around the center. And at 10 feet away, go and then just look at it. And whatever your eye hits first, let's say you have this laid out for your rug, and your eye hits that one first, or your eye hits this one. As soon as you look at it, that's where your eye goes. That's the one to change. You want to have it that you look at it and you just see the overall rug. You don't see one specific tongue or one specific color. And that's my 10-foot rule, and that works really good. The other thing that works good is use your phone, your camera, and at so many feet away, try different photos and take photos. Then look at the photos. The photos do a really good job of showing you what's wrong.